One last thought. I would hope that, again, I think the moon is close by, and whatever we can actually get a benefit out of going back there, we should, before you take the next step. However, the most important thing was if Mars, I ask permission for 1 minute for this question, and that is, you have indicated that Mars was totally different thousands of years ago. Is it possible that there was a civilization on Mars thousands of years ago?
So the evidence is that Mars was different billions of years ago, not thousands of years ago.
Well, yes.
There's no evidence that I'm aware of that.
Would you rule that out? That, see, there's some people. Well, anyway.
I would say that is extremely unlikely.
Okay. Well, thank you all. Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks for the good job you're doing. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Rohrbacher. Looking forward to finding out what's up there. That's for sure.
Although, through a process of Pavlovian conditioning, the harnessing of ferocious peer-pressured conformity as force for rejecting such claims that a past civilization once inhabited Mars, or indeed Mars as being the origins of life on Earth, it is a theory held in high regard by countless great-minded professionals within astrobiological fields. This strong scientific interest is often due to the planet's proximity, and indeed its many similarities with Earth. However, to date, no proof has ever been publicly disclosed of past or present life on Mars. This, however, does not mean that they have not found it. We here have a far more accurate understanding of the processes of concealment, and indeed the specific motivation behind such theories than most. We often realize the thinking behind the concealment of certain past events. Motives which far outweigh the financial gain one could expect from knowing that which others do not. Through our extensive research into artifacts, which push our timeline here on Earth back several hundred million years, we have come to realize that the majority of people, unfortunately, are content with a lie in replacement of a terrifying truth. Numerous studies have revealed that human nature is, in part, formed by a supposedly unknown past trauma, or possibly several. It seems we have lived through an event which we could not comfortably deal with on a psychological level. The syndrome has become known as planet amnesia, and numerous highly compelling studies have demonstrated a strong argument for its existence. It seems we also have characteristics isolated by numerous talented individuals, which demonstrate our anatomical structure was not built for Earth, suggesting we were built for an entirely different gravitational field, specifically a lower gravity. One like Mars has. Many other ailments we suffer, some believe, demonstrated that we were not originally native to Earth. Scientific searches for evidence of life began in the 19th century, and they continue to this day via telescopic investigations and landed missions. However, it is imperative, while searching for the truth, to be vigilant of concerted efforts to conceal it or the creation of destructive theories, funded hostilities and attacks directed toward possible hypothesis. During the first days of serious exploration regarding the posit that civilization began on Mars, a lot of people were indeed searching for the ruins of such anomalies. Modern scientific inquiry, on the other hand, merely mocks such opinion, heavily emphasizing the search for water, chemical biosignatures in the soil and rocks at the planet's surface. Did the realization of intricacies surrounding such a theory being true, stonewall further public study, it does appear to be the motive for concealment, which we have experienced many times before. Have ruins been discovered and subsequently covered up due to a wanting to hide a past catastrophic event, an event which took our species back to the Stone Age? As the trickle of truth inevitably turns into a river, maybe one day we will finally know for sure.
This is where opportunity is currently parked, and you can see 12 days apart, a rock just simply appeared.
On January 8, 2014, a strange Mars rock was spotted by Opportunity rover, resting in a spot where earlier there was nothing but soil. The rock, which scientists now call Pinnacle Island, is in the shape of a donut, white on the outside, red in the middle. It appeared after Opportunity had just finished a short drive. "It looks like a jelly donut," said Steve Squires, the rover's lead scientist at Cornell University in Ithaca during a recent NASA event, marking
This is
Opportunity's 10th year on Mars.
Now, we don't
It
think that
appeared,
anything
it just plain
particularly
appeared at that
exotic
spot,
happened here. The
and we
most
haven't
likely
driven
scenario,
over that spot.
just
Strangely,
uphill
NASA has
from this
remained pretty
location,
silent in
as we were
regards to
driving
the
on some
details
bedrock,
of the find for
the
the
Opportunity
past few
rover
years.
did a kind of a
Only
pirouette, we
recently
call it a
coming
turn in
forward
place,
to claim they had
but
solved the
drove
mystery of its
in such a
sudden
fashion
appearance.
that it would drag the right front wheel kind of chattering across the ground. And we think that in the process of that wheel moving across the ground, again, this is speculation at this point, that we kind of flicked it, kind of tiddly-winked it out of the ground, and that it moved to the location where we see it. We have not found the divot, the hole from which this thing popped out, but the reason for that, we think, is because the place where we believe it came from is currently blocked by the solar arrays. We can't actually see that spot, so soon we're going to maneuver so we can go searching for that spot. But what's interesting about this rock is a couple of things. It appears that it may have flipped itself upside down. And if that's the case, what we're seeing is we're seeing a surface, the underside of the rock in its original configuration, that hasn't seen the Martian atmosphere for perhaps billions of years. And so we're seeing stuff that we don't normally get to see. The rock is small. It is sort of white around the edge outside, and it's got kind of a weird deep red color. Not a Martian kind of red, but more a deep red color in the interior. It looks like a jelly donut. White around the outside, red in the middle. We've looked at it with our microscope. It's clearly a rock. We've looked at it with our compositional spectrometer, and we're seeing a strange composition different from anything we've seen before. There's a lot of sulfur in it, suggesting a lot of sulfate salts, which might have precipitated out beneath the surface, and in very high concentrations of manganese, more manganese than we've ever seen in a Martian rock, high concentration of magnesium. We're still working this out. We're making measurements right now. So this is an ongoing story of discovery. As I said, Mars keeps throwing new stuff at us.
Did something actually throw this very interesting and possibly extremely important rock in the rover's direction? We already have the rover's mysterious cleaning events, which have occurred on many occasions with every strange event that occurs on Mars. The possibility of outside help from an intelligent entity becomes less absurd. Did an alien or possibly covert astronauts throw us a bone in the form of a stone? We may never know where the rock came from, but we should all be thankful the rover found it. There are many unexplainable ruins upon our planet, whose age or indeed true origins are still an enigma to be unraveled. However, we feel that, thanks to ours and many others' astute and devoted research, we do now have a very thorough understanding of past lost civilizations' capabilities. In some areas, there is undoubtedly more than one advanced ancient phase of building work. For instance, we feel that the ancient pyramids of Giza, ancient relics photographed from almost every angle, now thanks to alternative research and in-depth scientific investigations, shows clear indication of at least 3 phases. These 3 phases are also possibly evident at many other ancient sites, in particular Peru. What's important regarding these phases is that, although they have undoubtedly been accomplished at vastly different times in history, they are all incredibly advanced. In fact, they are far more advanced than any ancestral attempts to recreate them, which can be found throughout our own thoroughly academically documented history. This throws up some controversial implications. For example, did this ancient civilization, just like ours, develop to a point where they were capable of space travel, or perhaps a more interesting posit? Were these most sophisticated and indeed ancient ruins left by a civilization who actually traveled here from another planet to begin with? Perhaps Mars. Since its discovery, Mars has been the subject of countless theories regarding the possibility of past life having once flourished upon its surface. There are even those who have proposed and relentlessly searched for an ancient advanced human civilization having once inhabited its red landscape. We have indeed shared a number of Martian theories, supported by compelling physical evidences from its surface, including the mystifying cleaning events which have been experienced by each rover. While still able to move on the planet, although many of the most compelling possibly ancient artifacts found upon the Martian surface have indeed been covered by numerous sleuths, we feel the following objects, possible identity may have been overlooked. Pictured within a NASA image, it shows a perfect sphere resting in the red dust, although noticed, its puzzling characteristics surprisingly have yet to be linked with one of the most recognizable UFO shapes of the modern age, the metallic sphere. These objects not only witnessed, documented and video recorded on nearly every continent on Earth. They have also been the object, most often recorded on many inches of unexplained NASA footage from low Earth orbit lunar. Could this mysterious sphere actually be a crashed metallic UFO? Although spheres appear in nature, under the identification of land pearl, its origins would have involved tremendous amounts of